Hey guys, thank you for joining us again for another exciting episode of YOML. This is the Year of Magical Learning podcast. So today we're on Reflection 265 and there's another brand new book. Today we're talking about a book, I say it's called Tribes. We Need You to Lead Us by Seth Godin.
Yeah, so Seth Godin, we've already done. Is this his third
Purple
book?
Cow, and we did Purple Cow with him or no?
Lynchpin. We did. No, we didn't do
Lynchpin.
purple. I didn't do Purple Cow. I've never read Purple Cow. Is that good?
Yeah, it's a concept. It's a
Yeah.
it's a concept of standing. I like to talk about the black swan, the
Oh,
purple cow. And you have to stand out. You have to be unique. It's like a marketing book.
gotcha. Oh, well, that makes sense.
I say, well, okay, I'm curious. Tell me more. So people tell you, well,
Makes sense actually. No, but I think we've Lynchpin. We're going to do that in a little bit, and we did the Dip. I think this is the third book of his that we have in the series. So this book is called Tribes. We Need You to Lead Us by Seth Godin. This book's about tribes and how humans need tribes and they want to be loyal to tribes. And this is about the unique opportunity around the internet and the modern day economy has given to kind of have a tribe with anybody anywhere. It's almost like the long tail of tribes, you know? I mean, you can find a tribe anywhere. Like back in 50s, 60s or whatever, if you had a tribe, it usually had to be in a geographic area. You had to move to a big city, or you had to be like a weirdo. There was like some hippie that found like 5 people that lived out in a commune together or something like that. You know, it was to find people that believed exactly what you believed in. If it was like unique stuff and you wanted to go, you know, explore that world, like look at us. I mean,
this is a tribe.
and you live in Houston, I live in Indianapolis, and we've never actually physically met each other in person, which is crazy. You can do this stuff anywhere now, right? This book is about how to do that and why leaders are needed in this day and age, and you know how to take a 3-step process that he has of building a tribe, which is the desire to change things, the ability to connect a tribe, and the willingness to lead. That's his book. That's what it's about. And so, it's an interesting book. I don't think I've ever read a Seth Godin book that I haven't liked at this point in time. He's one of those authors that I feel like he's getting into that level of, you know, Bill Bryson or Adam Grant, Nassim Taleb, where I'm like, I kind of know what to expect, or Malcolm Gladwell, you know, where it's like, I feel pretty confident if I pick up any Seth Godin book that I'm going to enjoy the process and enjoy what I learn and find a few new good things that I can apply toward my journey, our journey, the Clubbing journey, whatever it may be. So the reflection title for this one is We Only Ever Listen to Ourselves. And what I mean by that is, oh, you and I've talked about this many times before in the past, but like I'm fairly confident that I've never made a major decision in my life directly off of the guidance or advice of somebody else. Have you?
We can because it's logically impossible.
Yeah, I agree. We've even talked about this telling ourselves, like, I don't even know that right now I would go if I went back and told 20-year-old Chris, this is what you should do. I would even listen to myself. You know, like I mean, it's you can tell whatever you want to tell to anybody. You can share advice. Don't get me wrong. Like I've used other people's experiences and opinions and sought out research and, you know, people like Seth Godin and other mentors and things like that to inform myself. But the only person that's ever made a decision in my life, a major decision that is I'm pretty
Well,
fairly
I mean,
confident.
it doesn't
Right,
matter how big or small the decision is because if I tell you to do something and
right.
you do it, it's my decision, not yours.
I agree. I think some
So
people.
if I tell you to do something and you say, yeah, okay, I got it, I agree, then you're making the decision. If I were to tell you and you just do it, then it's not your decision, it's my decision.
I tend to
You
agree.
cannot make a decision without listening to yourself.
There's an inflection point of a level of severity, though, where there are minor decisions in my life where I've just accepted whatever. Like if my parents like we're going to church and I'm like, I don't want to go to church, and they're like, well, I don't care. You're going to church. Okay, fine. All right. I guess we're going to church. That wasn't my decision.
You
Yeah,
acquiesced, but it wasn't your decisions.
yeah
So
it wasn't. Yeah.
by logic, it's illogical. Because if I
Yeah.
made you do something, it is my decision to make you go to church. It wasn't your decision, even though you object,
I didn't want to go
right?
to
Because
church, so I
you
said
didn't
that.
want to go to
Yeah.
church, you
Right.
didn't make the decision, you didn't bear the responsibility. The thing is, in your mind, that's what you're saying. So
Yeah.
it's not possible for you to make a decision without listening to yourself, because otherwise you just doing the thing because somebody else made it. It's somebody else's decisions. Because, like, for example, if your
I'm with
boss
you.
said, "Hey, Chris, you need to fill out the QBR for all your employees, and I need it by tomorrow, by Sunday. You don't want to do it, but you do it. But
Right.
it's not your decision.
I mean,
Care how
you're
big
right.
or small the decision is. If you don't agree to it, you say, hey, yes, I agree to it. You don't bear the responsibility and accountability of the things that will come as a result of doing that thing.
Right.
If I did it, right, and something goes wrong, say, hey, you told me to do it. It's your decision. Now you need to own up to your mistakes or whatever.
Right.
That's how we think.
I 100% agree with you. This is the first part of this reflection for me, is setting that as our baseline. Well, the second part then is, well, this book's about, we need you to lead us. This book's about connecting a tribe and having the willingness to lead and the desire to want to change things, right? So how do you get people to follow you is the question, right? If I know and you know that I'm only ever going to do what I want to do, even if you tell me to do it and I do it, I didn't do it because I wanted to do it. I did because you made me do it, and I don't take any agency over that decision, like you said, right? So even in that regard, I'm only still ever going to do what I want to do. It doesn't matter who, you're not going to listen to anybody else but yourself at the end of the day if you have the agency to make a decision. So as a leader, like, that brings up the question, like, what do you do? And for me personally, like, this is what I've kind of discovered on this journey in particular, is you don't. It's a worthless waste of your time to ever try to get somebody to do something that you want them to do. I don't care how much persuasion you want to use. You could use that, the influence book. You could use, every sales tool, trick in the trade. You can do whatever, you can deploy whatever trick you want to deploy. It doesn't fucking matter until the other person decides that they want to go do something for themselves. And it doesn't matter what you say, they won't do it. I mean, I've seen this so many times with employees that I've managed or led, and you're like, you'll have a great conversation with them. They'll agree with you that they'll tell you verbally that this is right. I would like to do that. And then they don't do it. And you're like, what am I missing? What did I not do here? Right?
They don't really agree.
They don't. Like, that's my point. It's like they may have verbally said that to you. They may have given you the impression that they agreed with you, but then their actions do something completely different. So the truth of what I'm getting at here ultimately is they're going to do whatever the fuck they want to do regardless, right? And you could waste a whole lot of time and effort trying to guide them or trying to push them where you want them to go, or you can just sit back and watch how they behave and then leave little breadcrumbs around the place and see if they want to pick up the breadcrumb and ask you a question and then answer that question and then go back and sit back and watch and leave more breadcrumbs and let them go find their own stuff and then come back and talk to you again. And you can keep going a little bit further. That's ultimately how you, in my opinion, lead somebody to where you want them to go. Like, there's no other way to do it because they have to choose to go eat that breadcrumb every single time. And they have to choose to want to go ask you that question. And when they do that, that means they actually want to learn. That means they actually want to explore, some other area, because this is what their mind is thinking about. And this is what they're choosing to go do. So in my opinion, like, if the answer to this question of tribes, of how do you connect people together? How do you build a willingness? How do you connect a tribe together? How do you lead a tribe of people? And how do you get people the desire change to go in the direction you want them to go? And my personal thought is you don't. You just leave crumbs around that if they want to pick it up and go explore. It's like a Montessori workplace, like we talked about all the time. It's like, oh, hey, what's this toy? Oh, I don't know. I strategically left that toy out, for everybody to go play with. You decided to go pick that toy up. Do you want to learn more about that toy? Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. Well, then let's talk about it. That's my reflection overall. We only ever listen to ourselves. So make sure that you're helping people to listen to themselves. Observe them and help them to listen to themselves, and then keep going on. All the while, don't forget, you need to be doing the same stuff, right? You need to still be exploring, gobbling up little crumbs around you that other people leave for you, and, going on your own path, but at the same time leaving, little trail for everybody else. And that's really what we're doing over here too. I mean, that's what this whole journey is about. So I'll pause there. Love to get your thoughts. The question is, are you telling people what to do, or are you helping them to discover for themselves if you want to build a tribe? Love to get your thoughts.
Yeah. So for me, I'm a little bit of an oddball. Like I said, I'm usually the black sheep and of the family, of the society, of the tribe, of the human species. I'm the black sheep. So the thing is, for whatever reason, I have no interest in becoming a leader nor a follower. I don't give a shit.
Right.
So I don't know why,
but you are a leader. You're a leader of true.
I don't want to.
You don't want to lead true? You don't want to lead yourself? Yeah, you do. Yes, you do.
No, I
Yes,
just
you
want. I
do.
just want.
You
I
said I'm
just
the black sheep.
want.
That's your identity. That you want to do that.
No, I just want the brain to leave me alone. Let me be whatever that my gene needs me to be. I say if I need to go and become this Mexican fisherman or this Asian fisherman in my case, then to go be that. I'm like, if somebody tells me, hey, there's more fish over there, I have no interest in going over there for more fish. So for me, I don't know, it's a little bit harder to understand kind of like the leadership style of leaving the breadcrumbs and all that, because like I just don't have an interest in it.
That's not
Nor
true. What you're here with me every night. Like this is a breadcrumb. Like like
no, no, no,
it
no, no,
yeah.
but it's what I like to do,
Right.
right? And there are things that like you don't leave me breadcrumbs. You gotta leave me pieces of ribeye steaks.
Oh, fine, fine. That's okay. That's good. That's a good
See,
point. Yeah, you got to
see,
leave them what they want. Yeah,
exactly. Not
yeah, yeah.
breadcrumbs. Say, I can't. Like, you can't do breadcrumbs either.
Gluten-free breadcrumbs, I guess. Yeah.
You have to give me cubes, like
Yeah.
little tiny cubes of ribeye steaks,
There
right?
you
Cooked
go.
to perfection, right? That, to me, yeah, you can give me that.
It's a
So
good
the
point.
thing is, yeah, I get that. I get that. It's just like as far as being a leader, I have no desire to, nor a affinity not to.
You're just you're Switzerland.
I'm just neutral.
Yeah, Switzerland. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, pretty much. I'm
yeah.
I'm that kind of say. I'm my own business. Like, if you want to give me breadcrumbs, you give me little cubes of steaks, sure, I'll grab it. But as far as like for me to go put like if I were to cook steaks, I'm eating it. I'm not putting breadcrumbs for. I'm not putting cubes of steaks for anyone.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is I'll say this. I know for a fact that you do have a desire to change things, right? Like you want
Yes, yes,
you
there is desire to change things because there are things you want to reach for based on your personality and who you're supposed to be, who you're yearning to be.
right.
Because for me, it's like I say, I'm yearning to be this Mexican fisherman. And where am I at right now? I can't, right? I have responsibility. I have entered into contractual agreement with other people. I have a family, I have a wife and a kid. I can't leave them, right? I could,
Sure.
but my conscience won't let me.
Sure. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Right? And so I can be, I can, just drop everything and leave and be a vagabond person, do whatever, right? I could do that. Yeah. So
Right.
can I do it? Yeah. But it's it's all intertwined since, in the beginning that I have a family where my family were telling me to do certain things. I have no independence since, you're under 18, underage, blah, blah, blah. The states, the city, the society, the government, your country, everything, everybody, it is intertwined. So you can't really just jump off
Yeah.
and be, hey, I'm this person. So you can't just like
The
teleport
core.
yourself. Just for you right now, Chris. Like there is a certain place you want to be, but you have certain responsibility that you still at. You can't just teleport yourself and go poof,
Right.
magically jump over there. You have to find a transition. So
Right.
in that way, you are yearning for something. You are yearning for a change. I'm also yearning for a change because where you are is not the best place. When I say maybe I'm a beaver, I'm looking for that river, right? And I say I need to go over there. But right now, I'm stuck doing something here, or I need to, walk over there as if transitioning in the conceptual world. Or I need to, hey, there's a bridge or whatever. I need to cross the bridge first before I can go to the river. Whatever you need to do to transition over. So wherever you are, you still have where you want to be. And so there's a change. But once you get there, you can do less. Like the thing is, you get more fulfilled the closer you get to that state. So a
Right.
state isn't an end. It's not even an end because when you get there, you gotta go. Hey, I gotta go. Damn. So you start. It's not like you get there and you're okay. I reached my goal and ta-da, I'm done. And the end of life. That's
Right.
not how. That's not what we mean in terms of the state. The state is you get to the river and you start collecting the dripwoods and branches and start building the dams and make whatever I need to make as far as the fisherman is concerned.
Right.
And so for me, yeah, you have your singular focus. Because when you identify, hey, that's the river I want to go, what's over on the side, what's on the left, on the right, you don't pay attention to. So even if you leave breadcrumbs for me, I ain't going there.
Right.
Right. And so for me, it's hard for me to be this is because the thing is, you think about me, like you say, hey, look, I can go out here and I can talk to you. But at the end of the day, I still want to spend 80% of my time in solitude.
Yeah, but I mean, but that doesn't mean you don't want to be in a tribe, and that doesn't mean you
I
don't
do.
want
I
to
do
be
want to be in
around.
a tribe.
Right.
So we're talking about being a leader and being a follower. That's something, right? To me,
Well, no, this book's about we need you to lead us. Like this book's a call to leaders to
right.
form a
So
tribe. Like
it
that's what this
doesn't
book's about.
right.
Like it's not
Yes,
about tribes. It's not about the importance of tribes. Like we all
right.
know
And
tribes are
that's the
important.
reason why we're talking about leadership, because for
Right.
me, this book doesn't align with me because I have no desire to want to be a leader of anyone.
Right.
Right. I have a desire to be part of a community. Like you and I, we are part of the yin yang. We are in a track. I asked you before, you and I on a track. Who's in front and who's behind?
Neither.
That's the beauty.
But that also means you're a leader, though, because what you and I are doing every single day is leaving breadcrumbs for a whole lot of other people. They're going to come to you and they're going to ask you questions. And you have a lot more insight and wisdom into this idea, this grand, beautiful question that we call clubbing, that you are going to guide people through this whole entire. You've already done it. Like you've already been a leader for
I
multiple
I
people.
I am a leader
Mentored,
because I'm a leader because I do what I want to do. People just follow me because they want to.
That's my
I'm
point.
curious,
This
but
is exactly my point. It's
I
like
don't want to like. So for me, in that case, right, I'm a leader by accident. As a byproduct of who I am. It's not because
this is
I focus on being a leader.
this is exactly what we talk about all the time, though, is like you don't get through the dip, another Seth Godin book. Like you said, if you notice that you're in the dip, you're not going to get through the dip, because like when you do the stuff that you just naturally love, you don't even think about it. You don't even know that you're in it. You just keep going until you find yourself
Right. That's the reason
far along.
why. That's when if you have a
But
consciousness of, hey, I'm not a leader. I want to be a leader. Then you're not a leader. You're a
yeah,
leader
that's
because you're already a leader. This is what we're talking about in terms of being world class. If I want to be a world class, meaning the world class is what I'm chasing. That means that I'm not world class yet. I'm chasing it. If I'm already world class because I'm already there.
that's
So the
exactly
same
right.
thing. Same thing is a leader is what you do. It's not what you want to be, right? Because a leader isn't a thing,
It's not. No, a
right?
leader is somebody that sets a course and helps others to find their
No,
way.
a leader is a person who just carve his path and somebody
That's what I'm saying.
follows.
It's a course. That's what I'm saying. They set a course,
But
and
like I say, for me as a person, personally, I don't mind if somebody follows me, but I don't give a shit if the guy in the back say, "Hey, I need to go east." I say, "What do I need to go east for? I don't fucking care what you want. I want to go. I want to go west. I want to go north. Based
right.
on what? If you want to follow me, that's fine. But I'm not gonna say, well, I need to go west. I need to go east. I need to go whatever. Say, well, I don't. I don't care what your desires are. I desire for me, and what I do is what I do. I don't mind if you tag along and follow me along, but I decide what path I take, right?
But we all do. That's the point. It's like we
But
never
that's the thing is,
we
for
only listen
example,
to ourselves. Like all of us do. Like
exactly. So the thing is, that as an animal, you will only listen to yourself, right? Because there
you
is
have
no,
to. Like who else can you trust?
it's not logical for someone to follow. But at the same time, in my opinion, I think the human species has taken a dip because when you think about humans, right? We have this cognitive brain that I think the animals don't. But we are once animal. We are a little bit more than animal because we have the
Yeah.
system one brain and system two brain.
Maybe they're the special ones, and we're the idiots.
We have grown our brain size.
You did just
Our
say
brain.
you can't call yourself a leader. If you call yourself a leader, you're not a leader. Well, we call ourselves wise man. Are we wise man?
Then you're not.
Well, that's what we call ourselves. That's what our species is. We gave ourselves the name wise man.
No, I didn't say that. I
I,
never called myself. I never called myself a Homo sapien. I call myself human being. Whatever you label
is that
me.
is
I
that not
don't.
different?
It is different because I didn't choose it. So speak for yourself. If you say you're the wise man, speak for yourself. Don't speak for me.
I didn't
So
say I'm the wise man.
somebody, I'm just saying, somebody who quote unquote label us human beings as Homo sapiens or wise men, whatever it is, that's what he said.
Right.
I didn't say that. I didn't agree to it. Did I sign my name? Say, hey, I am a Homo sapien, blah blah. Even if you were to give me an affidavit and make me sign something and say, hey, he attests that I'm a Homo sapien, I would do for the sake of just getting you out of my hair. I don't give a shit. I'm not a wise man, nor I will ever claim to be, nor I will even say I'm a smart person. I'm saying I'm many things. Sometimes I'm dumb. Sometimes I have my moments. Sometimes I'm this. Sometimes I'm nice. Sometimes I'm evil. Sometimes I'm nasty. Sometimes I'm good. And so I'm all that. And I've been doing that, right? And as far as you know, that's mostly true. Because you think about it, there's anyone who has been good all the time, has been bad all the time, has been nasty all the time, angels all the time, have been devils all the time? No, as human being, you can attest to this based on the common understanding between me and you, right? We understand what you did in your earlier years. You say, well, yeah, as for a human being, I did some of that. Then that means that what he said is not far-fetched. So for most part, it's just, to me, it's just like you have a sense of yourself, but also a sense of, I need to kind of play along and not have to, because I don't want to fight you at every single turn, right? I just don't. I mean, whatever I would have care about, I'll fight for you for that. But whatever I don't care about, I say, yeah, sure. If you tell me, hey, the Earth is flat, sure, I don't care. If you say the Earth is oval, okay, sure. I don't really care because if I were to say no, let's say you comes to me and you tell me, hey, true, the grass is blue, right? I say, no, it's green. But I said, no, it's blue. No, it's green. No, it's
blue.
Exactly. But the point is, if I don't care about the grass is green or blue, why do I need to correct you? Because you know how lions can see only like orange colors and whatnot, right? And they can't see the green color. So for example, he said, hey, the grass is orange. But the point is, if I don't really care about if the grass is orange, blue, whatever, why am I correcting you based on what I see? Even though from your perspective, it's truly that you say, oh, you just pulled my leg. So at that point, I have to play around and say, hey, okay, yeah, it's blue. Whatever you say is blue. Because if I were to say, no, it's green, and I argue with you, I'm trying to prove to you how I'm right. But at the end of the day, I'm just arguing with the fool. Then am I the wise man by saying, hey, I'm right? Or am I the fool who wants to be right? Think about that for a second.
I think you're probably the fool, but
right, because the thing is that why are you arguing with somebody?
You shouldn't. It's like this
a notion of arguing and claiming that you're right. You are claiming yourself as the smart man. But in reality, because you arguing with the fool, you are the fooler of the fool.
I'm just finished a book, or not finished. I have like 20 minutes left of Annie Duke's Thinking in Bets. I think you've read that one, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is essentially what you're saying, right? And like this, like you might as well have called Thinking in Bets, I don't know shit, right? Like, because you're basically just taking a probability, like going, look, we know something, but like we don't know everything, and we don't even know what we know.
We know something.
Yeah, right.
We think we know something.
We know what we know, but we probably have some level of knowledge of this world. It might be infantile and minuscule, but we probably have some level of knowledge. At the same time, we have no level of knowledge. We could have completely, none at all. So my point of what you were just saying is like, okay, like a green or blue, grass. What's the probability that it's green? It's probably, for most of the people, 98% probable. I don't know. I mean, like,
no,
maybe
it means nothing. It means nothing to me. You can say 90%, you can say 80%,
yeah,
you can say 20%, you can say 1%. I don't know, and I'm gonna give a shit because
that's fair.
Well, you make the assumption that because you see green, that other people see green. So you say, hey, it's 99%. But
I
you
said
could be
90,
far
98.
from truth,
I
right?
could be.
90,
Yeah.
right? Who knows? How can you prove it? If you can't prove it, then
Yeah.
if you say 99%, you say 98%, you know 97%, and you see 1%, you see 10%, you see 50%. All that number could be very well be the correct number. So
I guess I could hold up a something that I painted green next to what I think looks like the same color as grass, and I could ask people, does this color look like that color? And they could say yes or no.
maybe all humans see green and all animals sees blue.
Oh, that's a good point.
Reality,
Right.
nothing is what you see, right?
It is what I see, but it isn't maybe necessarily what everybody sees, is your point.
And that doesn't matter. That's my point.
Right.
It doesn't matter. And so the thing is, whether you want to be a leader or not, if a leader is your instinct or your natural calling or your gene is, hey, I have the need to be a leader, then yeah, be that.
But I don't even think leaders have that calling.
Some people do. Some people just like, that's just like for you, you like to talk, right? That is a characteristic, a personality trait. So something for you
of a
is
leader? You think
a characteristic. There are many
yes, it is
character traits. Okay, character trait, like I'm saying, a character trait is like somebody loves to talk, somebody loves to meet people, some people loves to solve problems, some people love to do dance, right? So, but the thing is, there is no limit to the number of character traits that somebody have, or there is possible in the world. And there are some character trait that is aligning with this quote unquote the leader style, whatever that means, right? So for me, I don't have it.
I disagree, man. I really do disagree with that. Like, I think what we're talking about is that's like saying you're tall and you should be a basketball player. Well, maybe.
But the thing is, that's subjective, because when you say I'm tall, right? I'm tall compared to a 4 feet kid.
Sure.
But I'm short compared to a 7 feet kid, right? Sure. It doesn't matter how, but that's the thing is, when you say tall, it's subjective. When you say this, it's subjective.
Let's say that you are the size of an NBA basketball player for human. I don't want to put too many characteristics on this, but on the human spectrum, you are in the top 3% of height wise as an adult human being. Like, like people are going to say, well, you should be a basketball player, or you're probably a basketball player, or you're probably doing this or whatever, right?
That's the tennis player. He's 6'8".
What I was getting at is like, like just because you have characteristics of what society deems as a leader doesn't mean that like you can't be a, all I was trying to say is like, I don't know that there is any prototypical leader,
I think leadership is something we made up.
I don't think it's anything you do. Because if you lead a team at all.
You don't lead anyone or anything. The only thing you can do is just do what you're supposed to do. Because you think about, let's say, let's imagine you're in a swarm of fish, right? You see all this nature, National Geographic nature, where you have the swarm of fish. They go in the swarms. Who's the leader?
I don't know.
Who's the leader? Some fish say, hey, follow me. I go this way. I go that way. So it's another scenario.
They're all together.
Okay, you have a flock of birds, right? They fly in one direction in a V shape. Who's the leader?
I don't know.
My point is, there is no leader. The reason we go the same way is because in the common group, there are common desires. Let's say you like steak, I like steak, right? When there are crumbs of steak, you and I go in the same direction. Right. And other people who like steaks as well also follow the same directions.
Right.
Because if you found steaks, you're gonna come to me, or I come to you, vice versa, right?
That's a good point.
So it's not being a leader. Leader, it means shit. There's no leader. You cannot lead anyone.
I agree. As a matter of fact,
if you give me like breadcrumbs, like, you will not get me to follow you.
I agree. The team that I technically am and have been given charge of overseeing from a management perspective, because I wouldn't call management and leadership the same thing at all. Like it's completely opposite.
I think leader is a word, it's a made up word that doesn't mean anything. Okay, it doesn't mean anything to me.
It does. It has a meaning. True has certain things that he likes to do. True is the leader in that. If I need help in that, I'm going to go to True. Like this happens all the time on my team.
I would call that an expert versus a non-expert. It has
No,
nothing to do with leadership, because
no,
leadership
no,
isn't, because the thing is like you're a leader, right? And you come to me, hey, True, I need you to build this app. And I say, fuck you. Why would I build an app for you?
I didn't ask you to build. I didn't ask for your help. I said, teach me how to do
What would I teach you? What would I teach you? Because you're a leader, right?
No.
So that's the thing is,
You would teach because we were working toward a common goal in a group.
But that has nothing to do with leadership. It has
does.
to do with agreement. It has to do with
Hmm.
persuasion. You have a character trait of persuasiveness, charmingness, whatever it is. That is the character trait. That is a real thing. A leadership isn't a real thing. I decide to help you do something because I agree with what you said.
You agree with what I said. I didn't tell you.
Because yes, you do. Because there's certain things that you do that I agree with. Like, for example, you and I, we both like steaks, and I say, and I have a steak or you have a steak, right? I say, hey, there's a big steak over there. We need to go over there, but we need to bring this, tray over there. You and I will carry this heavy cast iron tray. You are convincing me to help you do these things. That is a trait, a convincing trait, a persuasiveness. It's a personal a character trait. Leadership isn't. Leadership is just a label of a group of traits that, hey, get people to do something for you, which is persuasiveness. I would say persuasiveness is a character trait, but not leadership. Leadership is, to me, this means shit.
I mean, I agree with that.
Because it's made up and it has no, to me,
gosh, I don't know. Never mind. I mean, like this, because technically there are people that
technically there's a label called leaders. Yes, it's a label. To me,
there is technically somebody that, of every tribe that does the direction.
You're a connector, right? You connect to say, hey, he's a leader because he's a connector, right? Because you think about it, a person who can orchestrate something. Oh, he's a leader because he have a lot of people, kind of listening to him. No, he has the ability to persuade, and people follow him. Just like, hey, you're talking about Hitler, right? He's a leader because he's able to be persuasive. Not because he's a leader. People put a label on.
A tribe is a collection of people that have a desire to change, which I agree with, have the ability and somebody to connect the tribe together and the willingness to lead, right? Like this is.
But the thing is, the willingness to lead. That to me doesn't make any sense, because you think about in the flock of birds.
So somebody has to say we have a desire to change, and somebody has to go, let's organize around this desire to change. Somebody has to be the one that starts.
So you call that a leader?
Yeah, the person that starts.
No, I just call that a person who initiates. Has nothing to do with being a leader. Because the thing is, you cannot persuade me if I don't agree.
I know
a leader is their trait is ability to get somebody to do something, to follow them, right? That is a leader. Okay. But a leader without the other trait that you kind of group them together as a leader, you take those traits away, you are a shitty leader, quote unquote, because no one listens to you.
Right.
So there are people in high office that has the power to get people to do things, but people don't listen to them.
Right.
So something is that you have a captain of a ship and you have mutiny. Why is that?
Because they don't like them.
Okay, you're not a leader because you're not persuasive.
Right.
So a leader is a label a human being made up to label a certain group of character traits. Because I don't have the character trait of those. I don't want to be labeled as a leader, nor do people look at me as a leader. They look at me as a person who knows something that, hey, maybe he can give me some advice based on his experience and his skills that he does in this area. But they don't look at me as a leader, because no one looks at me as, hey, I want to follow True. Wherever he goes, I'll go. Like you don't follow me. You come and say, hey, True, I'm not going to follow you. I just want to talk to you and see, okay, what do you do when you have this place, right? That's my point. No one does. So you cannot lead somebody. Like I say, a swarm of fish. In that swarm of fish, who's the leader? The fish in front is the leader? Or he just happened to be the fish in front? Or the flock of birds? Who's the leader? Is it the one leader, or it just happened to be that bird who happens to be in front that day?
I'm a little lost tonight.
Because the thing is, there's birds, right? Yes, you're talking about birds, right? There's birds that have the strength, right? That flies faster, becomes a leader because the character trait is strength. It isn't because of leadership. He flies faster, that's why he's in front.
Okay, I'm tracking with what you're saying. So you're basically saying what I'm saying in this reflection. It's like you can't. There is no way to get somebody to follow you, ever.
Nope, I agree.
I agree with that. I mean, so if there is no followers, then there is no leaders.
It's common directions. It's common goal,
common directions. I like that. Like that's good.
So that's what I'm saying is a bird flies south, right? Because it's not because a leader said, "Hey, we need to fly south," blah blah blah. No, we fly south because I don't like the cold.
Right. And I just wanted some companionship while I was flying down there, so we all flew together.
Right? I go to the steak table because I like steaks. You go to the steak table because you like steak, not because I say, "Look, you're a vegetarian. No, you eat steaks today. I'm a fucking leader. Let's go now," right?
Right.
And then, "Oh, you're a leader. Okay, I agree." So it's just illogical. Common directions.
Common directions. Right. All right. Hang on. I gotta write that down real fast.
Would you agree though? I mean, if somebody is a wheat addict and he's a leader and he wants you to go to the wheat table and get all the bread, blah blah, right? Are you gonna follow him? Willingly? You don't, because it doesn't align with who you are and what you want.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm tracking. I mean, this is kind of what I'm saying all along. Like, it's common. Like you just said, it's common.
Common directions.
Common directions, right? Like I put a breadcrumb down. You want to follow, go that direction. Like here you go. If you want breadcrumbs, like if you want to go, like only if you want a breadcrumb, or if you want a ribeye steak or whatever, fine. If I like ribeye steaks, then I'll leave pieces of my ribeye steaks around. And if you like ribeye steaks, you'll pick it up, and we'll continue to. You'll go to the same direction that I'm going.
Yeah, because if there's ribeye steak table on the east side, you and I are going to flock together to the east side because that's what we want. That's what I want, but it's also what you want. That's why you and I go together. So in that case, like you, me, and 10 other people, who's the leader? Just because I happen to see it first, I become the leader? I mean, the point is leadership is a man-made construct that identifies somebody in front as a leader because I happen to see first. That's random chance. Or I happen to have a certain character strength. I say, "Oh, I can smell. I smell better than you." And the human trait is that we share what we know with other people. And people, once I know there's steaks over there, then I say, "Hey, there's steaks over there." Am I a leader because of my keen sense of smell?
Okay, so I agree with where we're going with this. So we're all going in the common direction, and we all get lost. At a certain point in time, people look to somebody for direction, and like the birds all get lost on the way down to the south, and then we find ourselves up in northern Canada, and we all go, "Where the fuck are we?" Somebody needs to make a decision to get us the fuck out of here. Like I'm cool with going south. That's where we all wanted to go.
Okay,
but we're not going south right now. So somebody fucking make a decision. Who is the person that they turn to?
Okay, I'll give you this scenario. You and I and a bunch of other people that we're not gonna focus it on a bunch of other people, but you and I and a bunch of other people in a very, very sophisticated society. You and I, between me and you, who's the leader?
Are you asking like right now?
Mm-hmm. Who's the leader?
Like I mean, actually, like you're actually asking between us, like who's leading each other?
Who would lead in the group based on your character traits and my character traits?
I don't know.
Who's leading the group in a sophisticated society? My point is that in a sophisticated society, your character trait is needed more at that point in time because you have the ability to traverse the conversations among people and understand the EQ of people. On the flip side, if you and I were to strand on an island or a jungle, and understand that I'm a chemist, and I'm also very good at building things. In that scenario, who do you think is the leader?
As you're saying, leadership is dependent upon the environment that is needed.
What is needed? Because the thing is, if you are a talker and you are a social person, but I'm the builder and we are stranded on an island, right? So that means that leadership isn't a thing that's fixed, because a persuasive person is a persuasive person. Doesn't matter where you flung him. Right. But a leader is like, okay, you flung him to one environment, he may not be a leader. You flung another person into another society, another environment, he becomes a leader. So to me, a leader is a construct of a human construct that wants to group certain things together and say, okay, because in this case, you're a leader.
It's what the group needs in the moment.
Because if you go onto like a cruise or whatever, right? The captain is a leader because he knows how to navigate the waters, manage the ships and all that. And you stranded on an island, the person who knows how to get food and who knows how to cook and get fire and getting you the necessity, that's the leader. That could be the toilet cleaner later, and she'd be the kind of leader. Right. So the captain is a slave in that society. So leadership isn't fixed, isn't like a character trait. So I'm saying leadership isn't a character trait.
That's good. I like that.
It's a transcendent label, right?
I get it. Okay. I'm with you. All right, so let me put this all together. It's a common direction, and then in that common direction, a group of people going in a common direction.
Who has the most advantage in that environment? Because let's say you're a flock of birds, right? You're flying in some direction, going south to go warmer weather. The guy he's leading has a character trait of strength. He's able to fly faster. It's able to help the other birds fly, or be in front and get the cool air. Because the guy who's weak has to follow the tail and evade some of the snow or rain or wind in front of them, right? And so that's what I'm saying is the character's trait. It puts you into a leadership position based on the need of that situation.
So this is something the military does of decentralized command, where everybody leads basically. So it depends on the situation, but everybody leads when they need to be a leader in a particular situation. So
we're talking about like, hey, the bomb squad or the drill sergeant or the SEAL Team 6 or whatever, who's the leader? It depends on what are they doing. If there's a bomb to get defused, the bomb squad is a leader because he's control the situation. So a leader, quote unquote, it's fine to use it, but it's not a trait. They say, hey, everybody should be a leader. So leader isn't a trait. Leader is a transient label for say, who is the most advantage in this situation right now? I need you to give
whose skills can help the group the most in this particular situation.
The best probability of making it out. I want the best, like you and I would say, hey, if you have the best forehand, I want you to teach me. I don't want another guy to teach me beforehand, right? I want the best probability. So in that situation,
you want Lionel Messi how to teach you how to kick a left-footed ball, like
I do not want Lionel Messi to teach me how to hit a forehand in tennis.
Right, yeah.
So in the soccer field, Lionel Messi is a leader. In a tennis court, if me, you, and Lionel Messi, in the soccer field, he's a leader. In a tennis court, you're the leader. So I mean, it changes. It depends on the environment. So that's what I'm saying. Right. Now, my point is that leadership is a man-made construct. It's not a character trait.
I agree. So in that environment that you are really good at, leave breadcrumbs and other people will follow. Then you have a group of people going in a common direction, and in that direction, whoever beavering is needed most at that given time in that direction, that is the decentralized leader, and they need to all know that they need to step up when they need to step up for their particular.
Right. You can't just say, hey, I'm a fucking chief, right? Everybody listen to me in every single turn. Right. That's disaster because the chief has his moments. He is good in certain areas, but not in every area. He's going to make mistakes and he's going to doom the tribe. 99 good things, one bad thing will wipe out the tribe.
one all shit, erases 100 out of
one out of yes. Yeah. Exactly.
All right, I'm good. I feel like I'm good on this one. I feel like we went around full circle on this one. Came out with something good. I feel good to leave it here. Are you good?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's always tomorrow.
That's true. The question we can leave with everybody is: are you telling people what to do, or are you helping them to discover for themselves? But now
you can't tell people.
Yeah, well, we know that. Not only that, now I think we can add into, are you leveraging, are you stepping up for your group when your skill sets are needed most?
To me, I believe that it's a given, because if you do things naturally without thinking, you will automatically be the guy who's going to help, because you want to be useful in that situation where, hey, I'm a chemist and you can't make a fire and you can't get fresh water, or water that is going to be contaminated with this and thing, right? I'm going to help you because for whatever reason, I feel good because, I'm being useful. And so in that scenario, I will naturally come out and do it. If I were to use my cognitive brain to think about, oh, leadership, I'm in this now, it murkies the water. It murkies the decision process.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you be you, right, when you're needed, you're automatically going to say, well, how the fuck did you build the tent so fast? I'm here. I can't fucking put the thing together, right? They're going to naturally look at you and say, hey, you're the leader right now. In this wilderness, you can't, because if I'm a builder,
What
right?
do you do? This is a side. What do you do when somebody's been given a role? And like, let's just pretend in a company, and they're not good at that job, and then you need their help, and you're like, I don't trust you and your ability to do that in that given tribe. Like, what do? You just like kick them out of the tribe?
You want me to answer the question?
No, I don't. No,
Okay.
no, no, I
Okay.
don't. All right, all right. Let's call it a night for this one, because we'll end up talking for another 30 minutes. All right. Thanks everybody for joining, and we will see you all tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good. See you.